Hi, so we're doing family sushi tomorrow at 10 on Instagram Live. And if you want to cook along with us, you're going to need to prep your rice first thing in the morning so it's cool and ready to roll at 10. So here's a quick video on how to cook sushi rice and also how to roll some sushi. So if you can't make tomorrow or you want something to look back on, then here's a quick guide for you. So I'm going to go overhead and teach you what to do.
Weigh 300 grams of dry sushi rice into a bowl. First, you need to wash your rice, pour over some water and stir until the water goes cloudy. Tip out the cloudy water and repeat the process 2 or 3 times, then drain your rice in a sieve. Place the drained rice into a saucepan and add 360 millilitres of water. An easy way to measure your water is to weigh it, as 1 milliliter of water weighs 1 gram, so it will be 360 grams of water. Place the pan on the hob over a high heat and bring to the boil. As soon as the water is boiling, turn down the heat to a low simmer and cover with a lid. Simmer for 15 minutes. While the rice is cooking, prepare the dressing for the rice. Place a tablespoon of sugar in a bowl and add a teaspoon of salt and 75 ml of rice vinegar. Stir until the sugar has dissolved. You can also use this time to cover your sushi rolling mat with cling film. This stops anything sticking to it. After 15 minutes, take the rice off the heat, but leave it to stand for 10 minutes with the lid on. Once the rice is cooked, tip it into a large bowl, pour over the vinegar mixture and stir to cool down the rice. While the rice cools, prepare your fillings. Finally, chop any vegetables. You don't have to use raw fish, you can use things like tin tuna with some mayonnaise, or things like smoked salmon or cream cheese. To roll your sushi, take a sheet of nori. You can either cut it in half or 2/3, depending on how big you want your rolls to be. If you feel the nori sheet, you'll find one edge is rougher than the other. You want to stick the rice to the rough edge. So lay down the sheet rough edge up. Spoon the rice over the nori sheet. Dampen your fingers to stop the rice sticking and then press it down flat. Remember not to use too much rice or it will be difficult to roll. Leave the top centimetre of the nori sheet clear of rice so that it can stick. Lay your fillings in a line down the centre of the rice. Try not to put too many fillings on or you'll find it's really difficult to roll the sushi up. Less is definitely more in this case. Dampen the top of the nori sheet with a little water to help it stick. Starting at the bottom, use the mat to pick up the sushi and fold it over, making sure you use your fingers to tuck in all the filling. Carefully pull the mat away from you, squeezing down to make sure that there's a tight roll. Slowly keep pulling the mat forward and squeezing. And there you have it, a lovely roll of sushi. If you'd like to make a California roll style sushi with the rice on the outside, cut the nori sheet in half. Press a thin layer of rice over the rough side of the nori sheet as you did before, but this time leave a centimetre empty at the bottom of the sheet rather than at the top. Sprinkle over some sesame seeds if you'd like to. Then pick up the whole sheet and flip it over. Lay your fillings about 1/3 up from the bottom, remembering again not to add too much or it will be difficult to roll. Starting from the bottom, use the sushi mat to pick up the nori and slowly roll it, making sure you use your fingers to tuck the filling in tightly. Carefully pull the mat up and forwards while also tightly pushing down on the roll. Keep pulling forward and squeezing the roll until it rolls up tightly. You can wrap the sushi in cling film and store it in the fridge. You'll find that if you leave it for half an hour before slicing it, it will be much easier to cut as the nori will absorb some of the moisture from the rice and go soft. Wet a knife to stop the rice sticking and slice each roll into 6 pieces. Place on a serving dish and serve with some soy sauce and wasabi on the side if you want to. Enjoy!